Hello，大家。前段时间我在热搜上看到何同学和苹果 CEO 库克的这段采访，我觉得还是蛮有趣的。我觉得正好可以以这个机会给大家做一下我对这段采访的一个反应和分析。我之前没有看过何同学很多的视频，对他不是很了解，但是总体来讲，一个中国大学生可以和美国人全程用英文来交流，这个采访我觉得还是非常的 respect。那我们话不多说，我们现在开始吧。
Hi, how are you? I'm fine. I'm meeting Tim Cook today. I'm definitely really good today.
I'm meeting you today, so this is my privilege.
Oh, thank you. Really? I'm just a 22-year-old Chinese university student, and you are the CEO of Apple.
首先啊，在这个往下看下去之前，我觉得这段开头还是挺有意思的。就是其实美国人一般的聊天的开头也都会就是聊聊 How are you? How are you doing recently? 就是大概和你开头渲染的这种感觉。在我们开始进入主要聊天之前，何同学的这个状态啊，感觉非常的放松。其实他没有一个很好的就是准备好的开头，我们可以看出来，但是确实是一个非常放松的一个开头，我觉得还不错。
That's so cool. I mean, I just heard that you woke up like 4 a.m. every day and go to the gym. Is that true?
It's pretty true.
Man.
All of us have things that we do to stay energetic and to sort of clean our minds out. And mine is to get up early and go to the gym.
好，在我们往下再继续看之前啊，首先何同学的第一个采访问题是说，你是不是每天早晨都去了健身房 ？Is that true？ 其实我觉得我比较不希望大家在 networking 当中问出 Is that true 这种问题，因为最好你不要问，你需要问出来一个 open-ended 的问题，可以让对方 elaborate。但你要问 Is that true， 他的回答就只是 Is true or is not true。在这种情况下，其实对方会很难接上你这段话的一个就是更完整的一个回答。当然你肯定不是说你真的问他那个真的是真的吗，就是他说啊是真的，是这样一个表达，你确实想让他给你讲一讲这段就是你去 gym 的怎么样的事情。所以我觉得更好的方式会用一种更 open-ended 的问题来问这样的一个问题。不过库克是真的挺善良的，他在于说That is true 之后，他们有短暂的尴尬时间之后，他还是开始说出了就是自己去 gym 的这个经历啊，为什么呀？就是还是一个挺给何同学一个台阶下的一个方式。
That part of the day I control, and so I love to work out and then to start the day fresh.
Yeah, but I always wanted to do the same thing, but I'm just too lazy, I'm just too lazy. I go to the gym, I should work harder. Yeah, I should work harder. And I should get myself a better Apple Watch to support that. I don't know.
I didn't.
其实这个地方我想停下的原因是因为何同学 mention 了这个 I better get myself an Apple Watch。其实这个东西我觉得他说的很好，为什么呢？因为这就像是你和苹果 CEO 聊天的时候，那你就要说他的 product， 第一个为他的公司有一个就是 advertising 的一个感觉，还有就是苹果这个有点 obvious， 就是说你说了 Apple product 证明你对他们的产业线有所了解，而且也是一个可以轻松开始话题的方法。但是就是比如说你平时真的和别的人 VP 啊或者 analyst 聊天的时候，如果要是他们有任何的代表的话题兴趣，代表你对他们的公司做了一些 research， 所以其实这点还是蛮不错的。
I get up at 4 a.m. when I was a student either, though, so don't worry about that.
Thank you. Okay, let's get started. Tim, it's such a privilege to talk to you today. I've been a fan of Apple product for a very long time, and you know about Apple product more than anyone in the world. Congratulations on the iPhone 12 lineup. It has so many new features. But, creating new things every year must be a very stressful process for you guys. I mean, how you guys do it? How Apple prepare for all those new things every year?
There's no one formula for innovation. But what we do is we have a culture of creativity and a culture of collaboration. And these two things together, when they intersect, create enormous innovation. You put people together that have different skills, that look at the world differently. Maybe they're from different places, they have different backgrounds. Some are software experts, some are hardware. some are services, some may be musicians and artists. But you put them all together on a common purpose to design an incredible product. And it is amazing what can come out of it.
So innovation is about putting people together, putting creative and different people together.
Putting people together that are diverse and an inclusive kind of environment where people can feed off of one another, feed off the energy. And, you know, you pick people that care enough, that really want to develop the best products in the world. And they care enough to call somebody up at midnight when they've just had a great idea and to try to take, because they know that if they share the idea, that they can make that idea go further. That 1 + 1 has always been more than 2 at Apple. And so that's how we do it. And by the way, I appreciate your comment about iPhone 12. We're having an incredible time with it. I really believe that 2020 was our top year of innovation ever. Between the phones and the watch and the iPads and M1.
Yeah, M1. I love M1. I have an M1 MacBook Air, and that thing just have long-lasting battery life. You know, I never killed a battery on that machine. It just like lasts forever. It's really cool.
It's kind of jaw-dropping, isn't it? It's unexpected.
Yeah. Yes, it's just like out of nowhere, and Apple used some black magic to make the computer last all day. Yeah, that's really cool.
And it screens. It's so fast.
Yeah, it's really fast.
We're getting such great comments on it. I'd encourage everyone to try it out.
Yeah, I'm a Final Cut editor, and I just love that machine, which performs much better than my 16-inch MacBook Pro. But is there any features that are developed based on Chinese consumers' feedback?
Oh, there's a ton of features there that are, you know, whether it's specific keyboards, whether it's the QR code mode. 5G in a lot of ways was energized in China because China is so far ahead in the coverage model for 5G.
Yes.
Junction view in maps because of the complex intersections and so forth. Night mode. Was another one where the inspiration for night mode came from China. And so we listened very carefully to our customers there and wind up creating things based on that is then given to the world. So yeah, we get a lot of feedback from China.
Talking about customers' feedback, my grandma always wanted to learn how to use an iPhone so she can watch my videos and make FaceTime calls. But at the meantime, she found it really hard to learn to use an iPhone. What can Apple do to give wings to the elderly and to the digital world?
好的，在我们继续往下看下去之前，我觉得首先刚才有一段我确实没有停啊，就是在库克说苹果 products 是从有一些 idea 是从中国来引导的这些，我觉得这点其实说的很好，就是在何同学问出来说 Did any design of the iPhone or Apple products came from China or the idea 让库克可以引导出这段他基于中国市场而做出来对苹果 product 的改变，去吸引中国的 customer。 现在在这段话中，何同学问出了的问题就是苹果 products 非常的好，但是我的奶奶也想用这个 products， 可是他却觉得这个比较难用，所以说想要问库克的这个想法。所以我觉得何同学这个是他的第二点大点来在他这整段的采访当中。那我们继续看下去吧。
Well, we try really hard to design our products for everyone, and we try very hard to design the product like the mind works. So you don't have to have an instruction manual. You can pick it up, and it works as though you thought the way that you would think it would work. But we do things like we have classes in Apple Retail, where we'd love to train your grandmother on using iPhone right there in the class. We have telephone support and so forth for people that need that. But our hope is, and our desire is always to design the product in such a way that it works as you would expect it to do, so that no instruction is needed.
Yeah, that's the best way to use a product. You don't have to actually learn it. You just grab it and you naturally know how to use it.
然后现在就是库克对这段何同学问出来的问题，如何让奶奶更好的操作 iPhone 的这段，我觉得库克答的不是很好，但是库克的答法其实不是我们这个视频的重点，主要我们还说何同学啊。但是我觉得他没有很好的说出有什么有效的办法可以让老年人解决他们看 iPhone 比较困难的这个问题，因为 iPhone 其实确实是 design 比较不需要一个说明书就可以让 iPhone 很好的用起来。但是对于奶奶这段其实没有很好的就是说明对于老年人他们是如何 tackle 这个问题的。但是何同学的 follow up， 他刚才说，是的，你确实不需要去学，一上手就可以用，这确实是一个 iPhone 比较好的一个 feature。所以在这段话当中，我觉得何同学其实很好的 react 了 CEO 的这个话，说明他很 engage in this conversation.
Exactly, that is our objective. And sometimes, whether if you're using Final Cut, you may need a little more help there. And so we have classes in our retail stores to help customers, and I've sat in on a number of those classes, and it's amazing how fast people can learn.
Yes, and I do hope that everybody can learn all these technologies because it's such an important way to communicate with other people. Just like if you don't know how to use a smartphone, you've just been left out for the entire world.
I totally agree because so much of our lives are on the smartphone, and there's nowhere that's more true than in China. From eating to delivery to banking to paying to your health record, everything is on the phone.
Yeah, and we use QR code for everything. We use that all the time. That's pretty cool. And you have been to China for many times during the past few years.
这次摁的稍微晚了点，就是在何同学说 "That's very cool" 之后，我其实是想摁的。这点其实是一个很小的一个点，就是何同学在采访当中非常喜欢用 "That is cool", "That is very cool", "cool", "That is cool" 重复使用。在这里还是就是一点小 tip， 就是希望大家真的拿英文交流的时候，尽量不要重复同一个感叹语。
What's your most memorable part of your visit in China?
Well, I always love interfacing with the people.And so I'd love to go to our stores to talk to customers to see what's on their minds. I love the history in China and the arts. Last year I went to the Palace Museum in Beijing. They were celebrating their 600th anniversary. This for me is unbelievable because there's nothing in the U.S. that's obviously 600 years old. And it was so fantastic being there.The Modern Art Museum in Shanghai is another place that was incorporating augmented reality into their exhibits. Fantastic. But if I say one thing, it's about people. It's meeting people. It's meeting developers to see what developers are working on. There's some incredible entrepreneurs in China that are pushing the envelope and really doing incredible work.It's customers and seeing what customers do with our products. The largest reward we get for our work is seeing what other people do with it. Like yourself, you use our products in your work, and so I'm so excited to understand sort of what your process is.
Yeah, my process, it's actually quite interesting. The most useful Apple product that I use is not something really big.
又稍微晚了一点儿，按暂停键。现在这个话题转风的地方，正好是库克开始反问何同学问题了。因为前面何同学问到了关于 Apple Products 的问题，现在库克就是我现在也很想了解你是怎么样用我们的苹果 Products 做你的创作的。然后这个可以给何同学一个机会来说一说他自己的故事，我觉得这点还不错。
It's actually the default Notes app on my iPhone. I use that to write.Every script on my video. It's not because it got some advanced.
这点很好笑啊，因为本来期待何同学说一说苹果的一些产品的一些优点啊，就别的东西上没有的优点，比如说什么 Final Cut Pro 啊，剪辑非常的快啊，但没有想到何同学说的却是我在用我的手机备忘录去写我的 script.
Sure, it's just simply because I write the script on my MacBook and it just automatically appears on my iPad.And my iPhone with the iCloud, I can edit wherever I want.
其实何同学这点地方说的挺好的，就是我觉得对于 Apple products， 我其实最喜欢苹果全家桶的这种感觉，就是你电脑上 added 的，你可以在手机上 added 的，也可以在 iPad 上 added 同步的这点，我觉得还是苹果 products 非常好使的一个地方。
It's so convenient. I really love that feature. And I just said I added all my videos on a 16-inch MacBook Pro with Final Cut Pro 10. And, student around my age, one thing that I found that we use Apple Pencil and iPad a lot. Like you walk into a classroom.
You're taking notes.
Yeah. 5 out of 10 are taking notes directly with their Apple Pencil on their iPad because it's just really convenient. So I do think that better writing experience on tablet is really important. Even though we are not all drawing, we're just writing words. It's still very useful for students like us.
I agree.
确实，在 iPad 这点，我自己就是用了 iPad。我觉得 iPad products 比起原来就是用来绘画呀之类的方面，现在确实更融入于人们正常的生活当中了。很好的记笔记这件事情，其实我当时买 iPad 的时候也是以为自己会记笔记，可是我买的时机不太对，我是在我大学毕业了之后才买的。但是现在我真的用 iPad 学 Gmail，iPad Pro 还是真的写字非常非常的 smooth。
Yeah, I use the pencil significantly as well. And I use the Notes app. I use the Notes app for ideas, to record ideas so that I won't forget about them. And it's probably my most used app as well, other than maybe email.
Yeah, I mean, you read a lot of emails every day, right?
Lots of email from customers.
何同学在这里又说了 ，You read a lot of emails every day, right？ 记住大家千万不用 right 这种话，因为他这种回答只会回答 yes or no。
And so forth.
Yeah. Just people always tell me that Tim Cook actually reads those emails from customers. That's quite amazing. You're the busiest person on this planet, and you still read every single one of them. But do you remember any specific email sent you by customer?
我其实说实话，真的觉得何同学的英语水平还是真的很好的，问的问题也挺有趣的。现在又引导出来了一个新的关于中国的故事，我们来看看。
I remember one that came in about a 7-year-old boy in Shanghai that is already teaching people how to code. It's unbelievable. The youngest age that I know of in the world.
Wow.
Using Swift and Xcode and all that.
That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
其实我还是挺希望在这点的时候，库克说这个中国7岁的编程神童说这句话之后，还挺希望何同学可以给一个超级巨大的反应的。
Amazing. I don't think I have.
对，他说 is amazing.
The coding ability to teach other people how to code. I actually major in engineering, and I'm not really good at coding, so I really respect that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what people can do.
And there's still other question. Many rural children in China, they don't have access to all those advanced technologies to help them learn. But you are the Tsinghua SEM board chair. What's your advice of making sure that education is accessible to everyone?
好的，在继续往下看之前，我觉得何同学这个问题很fit into the flow of his whole conversation。 就前面聊了关于苹果的 products， 苹果 products 他认为有的问题，然后还有他如何利用苹果 products 来工作的之后，现在开始说苹果这个公司的文化了。库克是否有任何见解对于就是在中国农村没有办法上学的学生，可以利用科技来帮助他们学习的这块，所以我还挺期待库克对这方面的一个 feedback 的。
Well, it's an honor and a privilege to be the SCM board chair. I'm having a great time doing that.
在继续往下说之前，何同学还说了，就是 being the SCE chair 清华的这个一个主席，也说明了何同学对库克之前的 background 做了一些调查，对他比较 impressive 的一些经历有所了解。
Meeting many of the students there, the talent in the student body is unbelievable, and so it's a real privilege. We've always viewed at Apple that education is the great equalizer of people. So in China, we're helping with the CDRF, and they're focused on raising children out of poverty, and that means for us providing our technology out in schools, and we've been really impressed there with what we've seen.
我发现啊，就是何同学这个视频的英文 subtitle 加的真的很好，导致于我都不会用耳朵听，而是会眼睛去看 subtitle。
We've designed curriculum like everyone can create and everyone can code, and we've just given it away for everyone because we believe that coding and creativity are two of the important skills of the future.
Coding and creativity are the two important skills in the future. 库克说了啊，我反正学编程已经没有希望了，希望大家也去学编程哦。
Yes, I always wanted to learn how to code, and I do
Me
think
too.
the app Playground helps a lot. I love that.
Yes.
Nice Swift playground. That's really helpful.
We've tried to make it very.
其实很神奇啊，库克说希望大家去学编程这件事情。Of course， 苹果的这个公司确实是一个编程 heavily 有很多 software engineer 的公司，但是主要想一想，苹果的 product 其实对编程非常非常的不友好。也不知道这个话题是怎么引导到这里的。
Simple. We tried to make it as simple to learn as our products are to use.
And actually, I learned all of my, video skills on the internet. So I do think that those tutorials really helps. They're really helpful.
I agree. It's amazing what you can learn there.
And Mr. Cook, from my observation, you're like.
一小点 ，Mr. Cook， 其实何同学前面在这块说的很好，就是经常性叫 Cook，Tim 就是 by his first name， 就是你一般要是和别人在 networking 的时候，你都会prefer 叫他们的 first name， 就是 Tim， 有一点生分，而且感觉你好像有点像小孩子的那种感觉。
Really passionate about your work. Like you don't like many other people, like they are tired or they don't want to go to work. You are really passionate about it. Is that an innate passion that you're just born with, or is something that you slowly developed during your work process?
Well, I think you have to feed it, like you have to feed yourself, and so far you have to ensure that you're constantly working on it. And the way that I do that is I surround myself with people I love to work with. And if you surround yourself with people that you love to work with, then you feed off their energy. If you talk to young people a lot, the younger generation is idealistic and believe they can change the world, which they can. And we believe we can change the world for the better. And so it's that belief that gets me up every morning and to charge again, to sort of ask the question of what am I doing for others? Keep asking yourself that over and over. It will drive you. It'll provide the magnetic field that it takes to keep moving forward.
Yes, because at the end of the day, just realize that money doesn't matter, wealth doesn't.
讲完了苹果的 culture， 就是如何帮助中国的农村地区，说白了干好事、做慈善，对吧？然后现在何同学又开始说到了你是如何对工作有这样的热情的。我其实觉得这个问题还不错，因为可以让库克就是说出对 personal development 的一个想法。就在你 networking 当中，我也希望你可以更 personal 的对于你 networking 的这个对面的人有所了解，或者对他想要对他的故事有所了解的这种心情。所以说现在他问他就是你是如何保持你的活力或保持你的热情的，其实是一个挺好的 flow 的。
The most important thing is the happiness from helping other people.
That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Cook.
Thank you. So what's it like being a senior?
I don't know, I feel.
好的，他说 Thank you, Mr. Cook 的时候，这个的话正好是替他说明了，我问的问题已经结束啦。然后这个时候库克也理解到了这层含义。大四的学生感觉怎么样？就开始跟他聊一些有的没的事情。其实这也是在我们平时和别人 networking 当中非常常见的一个事。你准备好的问题已经问好了，然后现在两个人都感觉这个氛围还不错呀，对方可能就会开始问你一些关于你自己的故事，就是凭你的感觉就好了。这时候其实已经说明对方对你这段的聊天还是感觉不错的。
Pretty energetic every day. I pretty much just jump to work, jump to my classroom every day. I just like jumping. I just feel really happy, I guess. I feel really energetic, and I feel I can do a lot of things. But at the meantime, I know nothing. I can do nothing. You know that when you want to do good in an area, you gotta spend all that time and energy into it. But at the meantime.
真的长期听何同学的这个讲话，他真的讲得很不错哎。
We're too young to actually be good at anything. Like shooting videos, but there are so many cool video directors in the world, and I'm just shooting videos in my living room, in my bedroom. This is actually my bedroom. I grew up in this place.
Really? It's quite the studio now.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, we have some really cool lights in here, and yes, we got a lot of cinema camera, and yeah, let's get started. I hope this gets better in the future.
有一点点一般。如果开始问他，哎，大四的生活感觉怎么样啊？他开始说，哎，我每天都很努力的，可以干很多事情。说到了自己的房间这件事情，但是感觉何同学有那么一点点没有 prepare， 就是讲自己的故事这件事情，所以开始说啊 ，we got a lot of cameras in this room， got pretty cool lightings。但是感觉他好像有一点就是在为了说话而说话，而没有就是真正的表达一个为他想要表达的意义而说一个话题。
It's incredible how popular you've become.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Cook. Is there any advice that you want to give to graduates like us, how to find a job that we actually like?
Well, my old boss, Steve, said something. He said something very profound. He said, "You'll know it when you find it, and if you haven't found it yet, you should keep looking." Because you want the passion, you want to feel this passion that you're working for a good reason, that what you're doing matters in the world, that you're making a difference in the world. And if you find that, it makes all the difference in the world. And you will know it when you find it, because you will feel it. You'll be able to get up every morning and feel refreshed and charged up, ready to go again. And if you don't, you won't. And so I would say to everyone out there, if they haven't found it yet, to keep looking. They will find it.
Yeah, so I just keep looking, and when I found it, I just know it. I don't have to other people to tell me what's the best job for me. I just know what's the best for myself.
其实挺对这段库克和何同学说的这段话而感动的。其实真的在我们生活当中，尤其是大四毕业比较迷茫的人们，我其实真的觉得寻找自己喜欢的事情做真的是最重要的。因为你如果要是做一件你不喜欢的事情，其实你很快也会 get tired of it， 然后 want to get out。有很多在 IB investment banking 的人都觉得，就是他突然发现，哎，我之前那么想做的那件事情，真正开始做的时候，却感觉真的很累，我觉得我不适合，然后大家就离开了。其实这个还不如最开始的时候你就找一件自己想做的事情呢。但是说真正找想做的事情这件事情，真的不是很容易，因为你也许刚大学毕业的时候，你根本就不知道自己想要什么。一个很迷茫的状态，对于大学生或者是即将毕业的人来讲，是一个非常正常的事情。希望大家可以找到自己想要做的工作，但是如果要是你没有找到，这也是非常可以发生的，所以千万不要太焦虑。
Yeah, stay very curious. Stay curious enough to keep pulling the string to find out where it takes you next. You'll find all sorts of things.
That's really important. And Tim, one thing I really respect you is that you don't avoid talking about Steve Jobs. If I were you, I don't want to talk about my legendary ex-boss all the time. But you're really comfortable with it. I really respect that.
Yeah, well, thank you. I love Steve.
Aww.
And his DNA is still the foundation of the company, and always will be. I revere him and wish that he were still here.
Yeah, we all wish that. And, I came from not a really big city in China, and I'm talking to Tim Cook right now, so I do have to thank Internet for that.
It has been wonderful talking with you.
真的，说实话，我也对他能和库克聊天的这件事情感觉非常的敬佩。希望什么时候所罗门可以给我一个机会让我采访你呢
？This has been a year that we've needed resilience like no other, and I can't wish enough happiness and health and all of those things that sometimes we take for granted, but we've been reminded of the last year of how important they are. There's an old English and Chinese saying about we're all in the same boat. And I do believe that. I believe we're all in the same boat and we can do amazing things together. We can get out of this pandemic together. There's so many things that we can do together.
And that's all my questions. And I just hope you have a great day. Happy New Year.Happy
New Year.
好的，那这段聊天我们就看完了。总体来讲，其实还是真的觉得何同学的这段英语说得很好，有一些小小的细节的地方，其实就无伤大雅了。He's talking to Cook, like.真的 honestly, what do you expect? 何同学在这方面的领导这个 topic 的这个方式，我觉得还是挺不错的。没有什么别的地方了，还是希望大家可以快点找到自己想要做的工作，只是对你有一个很好的期望。但如果要是说你现在还在迷茫，不知道自己做什么的时候，当然千万不要特别的焦虑，因为这件事情真的非常非常的正常。如果要说你在想，如果我要是怎么样才可以知道我想做什么呢？那我觉得对你的最好的一个建议就是，你先去把你觉得感兴趣的事情，你都可以尝试一下。真的，你还有很多时间可以尝试很多的东西，千万不要放弃对自己喜欢或热爱的事情的一个探索。在这里，最后还是祝大家可以都找到自己心仪的工作，拿到自己想要的 offer。那今天的视频就到这里了，有什么问题请在留言区跟我互动，我都会一条条看你们的留言的。希望大家还喜欢这期视频，那我们下期再见啦。